Hello, everybody, and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43, and tonight we are back with the wheel. For those of you who aren't aware of what this series entails, I have a wheel in front of me that has all of my ships, or at least had all of my ships up to the point that I made this wheel several months ago, from Tier 5 all the way up to Legendary Tier. And we spin the wheel. It gives us a random ship. We play that ship live with live comms so that you guys know that I ain't playing around. You guys get to see the good, the bad, the ugly, doesn't matter. And when I'm satisfied that we have a fun video, that's when we go. But you guys, you get to see it all. If it's one and done, it's one and done. If it's 2-3 matches, you get to see all of it. You get to see me get dev struck. You get to see me have a good game. It doesn't really matter. But basically, the whole point of this series is to show that I'm willing to play anything and that I can do well in any of my ships. And it just shows different ships that we wouldn't normally play, because you guys know by now there are several ships that I tend to enjoy more, and so this is my way of kind of like throwing that out of the picture. So you can't be like, well, Spartan, you always play this ship. Be like, I just span the wheel, man. It's not my fault. Anyway, with all of that being said, you guys know the deal. It's time to spin that wheel. All right, what do you have in store for me this time, wheel? I'm watching you. Oh, Hayate. Oh, nope, nope, nope. Oh, it is Hayate. Man, it was almost the Stalingrad. That would have been an interesting one. But Hayate's still fun. I think we had a destroyer the last time, didn't we? But either way, the Hayate is what we will be playing. And so we're going to go ahead and remove that. So give me just a second, and I'll see you guys over in World of Warships Legends. Alrighty, so we are going to be in the Hayate, and I'm trying out a different build. You guys know I like to run super sneaky ninja strats, but I thought something a little bit different could be a little fun. It's still going to be a torp-centric build instead of going main guns. I know a lot of people are probably going to hate me for it, but this is not just your normal torp boat. It is fully capable of gunfighting as well. And so we're running Space Fishy. For the extra torpedo speed, we have William Sims on here for a little bit more hit points so that when we do get into those gunfights that we can hopefully survive them. Eric Bay for a little bit extra destroyer concealment, because you guys know I like super sneaky ninja strats. We got Subsurface Venture, which does reduce the main battery reload, or increase the main battery reload, sorry, but it gives us more torpedo speed as well as increases or decreases our torpedo launcher reload time, which is very nice. Then we've got Look at Me Now, which gives us a -6% sea detectability. I could go here for a -8%, but I don't want to lose the hit points. Again, I want to try to make sure that this particular build I have enough hit points that if I do get in a gunfight with another destroyer that I don't have to immediately feel like I'm going to lose. And then of course we've got Perceptive, because it reduces the overall damage that you take, as well as points the direction of the nearest enemy ship. Breakneck Speed, we've got 50% engine boost cooldown time reduction, okay? And then, of course, we get 2 extra charges. Now, that also reduces the engine boost duration by 50%. So you can tell me if you would prefer that or not. You do have another option. If you went with something like Destroyer Be Destroyed, you gain extra speed there, but your Destroyer main battery shell grouping is a little bit worse. And then you could swap, say, Unstoppable for Give Me Speed, which gives you, again, engine boost charges, but it doesn't have the same issue with the duration being reduced like this does. So you would have a longer duration, but then you lose your ability to continue moving if your engine gets knocked out. And we are going to be in gunfights, so there's a good chance that our engine gets knocked out. So again, it's all down to what you prefer, and I'm not saying this is the optimal build. This is just a build that I'm going with in this particular game. So yeah, with all of that being said, let's get this party started, shall we? Alright, how long do you think it'll take before we get into our first game? Now the good thing is, being that it's a destroyer game, it really shouldn't take long to get a decent game, because honestly, it's so easy to play destroyers. And you may not win all the time, though if you're a good destroyer player, you'll win more often than you lose, just because, again, destroyers are so impactful on the overall game. spotting for your team, capturing bases, countering enemy destroyers. So many good things for a destroyer. And that's why we always talk about destroyers, the most critical class in the game. It just is. Battleships are replaceable, cruisers are replaceable, destroyers, if you have a bad set of destroyers and the enemy team doesn't have a bad set of destroyers, you're at a huge disadvantage. That's just the way it is. But it looks like we're going to be on Greece. We've got 2 destroyers on each team. They have a Hayate and a Z-52, so we do want to keep a distance a little bit. They also have a Venezia, which is terrifying, a Schlieffen, which is not ideal. They have a Stalingrad, so long-range radar. This is a rough game for a little Hayate here. So we're going to have to be a little bit careful. But that doesn't mean we have to be a bitch. All right? We can still do our job. And that's something that I think a lot of destroyer players do poorly, which is look at the screen and go, oh, I'm screwed right out the gate, and then they just don't play at all, or they just run in and die immediately. So we're going to try not to run in and die immediately, but also make sure that we're in a good position to do good things. Now, you'll notice that we actually have a 10.8 kilometer firing range, which is fine if you're not going to spam HE from long range trying to set things on fire like they do in the Kaaba. What this can do, we have a 12 kilometer torp range, which means we can basically use that white line. Anything within that white line is torpable, unless, of course, it's moving away from you, right? So I'm going to use that white line to kind of determine where I want to put these torpedoes. And you can see Schlieffen is moving in, of course, of all the things. And I'm sure there's a freaking Stalingrad nearby, too. But I want to kind of get myself into a good position here to thread some torpedoes through this gap. Because there's almost always somebody there. But you got the Schlieffen, you got the Stalin. What'd I tell you? What did I tell you? Every time. And I bet the Z-52's here, too. This is bad. We cannot afford. Luckily, the Stalingrad's moving away from us, but Schlieffen is already getting close to being in sonar range of us. We also have a destroyer nearby. You can see on the twist and track that it's kind of out ahead of the Schlieffen a little bit. I don't want to move into the cap here. Normally I would, but given the fact we know there's a Z-52, we know there's a Schlieffen pushing in, we want to keep some distance so that we have an out, right? And so I would expect to spot something real soon. We don't have the best concealment, but we got pretty good concealment. And it looks like the enemy team is not going to play like they normally would by sitting behind that island to the right. So, unfortunate there. I think I am going to go ahead and get some torps ready. See if we can drop him on that Schlieffen, because he is a huge threat to us, right? And also, we're like right on the edge of his detectability. And there's the Z-52. What'd I tell you? Literally worst case scenario for us. We have the Schlieffen pushing in, we have the Stalingrad there to potentially ruin us, and we have the Z-52. Worst case scenario for this ship, right? Could not have dreamed it up worse than that. But fortunately, Schlieffen, not the brightest person in the world, he's gone. That's a huge, huge threat neutralized. Now we got to deal with the destroyer. I should have a Worcester. Nope, it is a Worcester, but he's lost all of his health because he's just sitting there broadside to everything. Not ideal, but again, I think as long as I don't just get yeeted by the enemy Z-52, I think I could probably take the Z-52 in a gunfight. I have a decent hit point pool. His reload's going to be better, but I think my HE hits harder. So we'll see what he ends up wanting to do here. If he does engage, I do have the Worcester behind me I could potentially get some help from. I don't want to rely on him because he's already almost dead and he's still sitting broadside, so if he gets detected, it's just GG's. But I think I'm going to double back here, jump into the Alpha Cap, and see what happens. If this guy pushes me, then he pushes me. But yeah, Worcester goes down, not surprised. The guy literally just sat there broadside in front of everything. We got multiple battleships in the middle as well. Delaware, Ohio. This is just not good for us. And I can't rely on this battleship to help either. And it looks like we're getting into the gunfight. So let's do it. And this is what I'm talking about with the trade. We don't have the fastest reload in the world. So we've got the hit points. we can just get into a gunfight here, and our HE hurts a lot more than his. And because we have the ability to keep our engine moving, even if it gets knocked out. That was a bad shot by me. You can see he's not even shooting at me at this point. This is why I say that people just don't know how to fight in destroyers. They don't. Like, people don't know how to fight. We're going to go ahead and fix this. We're going to turn away. We'll go ahead and go dark. We've got our torps back, so we can potentially go for a torp run on that battleship. Would have loved to have this Montana actually... For fuck's sake, man. Staying spotted this long is actually obnoxious, because he just knocked out my steering, too. Which is real bad. Would have loved to have had this freaking Montana take a shot at this Z-52. But the Stalingrad actually is the one that did the most damage to me right there. That last shot literally took like 5k health off of me. Which is absurd. Because there's no reason that a Stalingrad should have HE. Like, the fact that they gave a Stalingrad HE is idiotic to me. I hate that. It already was plenty fine enough. I'm not going to waste my damage control on that. I'm going to try to get back into a gunfight with this Z-52 to finish him off. Our team is throwing the match pretty hard, but we're used to that. We know there's 2 battleships here. There's a Delaware there as well. Looks like he's backing up. Not ideal. I'm worried about Stalingrad coming forward and helping. I am going to drop those just in case. I think the Z is going to back off. Yeah, we're in the cap, so... Again, we still have to worry about Stalingrad out there, long-range radar. You can see he's 12.6. We'll leave ourselves an out so that we can get away.
All stations requesting fire support.
And of course, he's coming in. He's probably going to radar me. He did get one hit, but he went back forward.
Concentrate fire on that enemy warship.
Really hope this guy doesn't radar me here. Now Stalingrad is bow in. I got 9 seconds. Just let me get this cap. 40 seconds till I get my torps back. Alright. Now we're out of here.
Engine boost 始動
Montana is actually doing pretty well for himself. These guys are... Oh, turn. There's the radar. Knew it was coming. Thankfully he waited, but it may not matter because now these battleships are probably going to... No, because he's going to shoot me. Of course he is. Screw the battleship that's right in front of him. Drop those off the pool. Okay, radar's gone. Thankfully he missed. Still got plenty of hit points despite taking some damage here. Ohio should be an easy kill for the Montana if he's paying attention. The fact that their Stalingrad's just pushing in is kind of annoying. I can't really make a move on him because of these battleships. Between all of them, they're going to be able to eat me. Not ideal. So I'm trying to keep myself in a good position to help my team, but I also am aware that there's not a whole hell of a lot that I can do here. I can't just sail into a crossfire. That ends poorly for everybody. And this game looks like it could go either way, so we want to try to play smart. Got another torp hit. Got the kill on the Ohio as well, that's big. We've got the cap advantage at the moment, but they're about to get into the whatchamacallit. We lost our freaking we lost our freaking Montana. That is real unfortunate.
Concentrate fire on the designated target.
good hit there.
All stations requesting fire support.
Looks like this guy is going to come this way. We're about to get our torps back. We might be able to drop torps on the Stalingrad here in a second. I probably should have took a shot, seen if I can lob that, reset the cap on the Stalingrad, but... see if our guys can finish that Delaware off. I'm worried that this guy's about to have his freaking radar back. So I've got to try to put myself in a position to get away from the radar and ability for him to shoot me. Probably should have saved Iraq. Oh, fuck. Well, there's that guy. Okay, that was about as good as that possibly could have went. We also got a torp hit on the Stalingrad. Venezia is terrifying. I'm still spotted because of the Venezia. Okay. Oh, man, there's the fucking radar. Son of a bitch, man. Engine's knocked out, too. I think I'm just dead here. Fucking hell, man. I've tried. There's nothing I can do, man. I can't have everybody on my team that's just sitting around with their thumb up their ass. I did my part. Like, I literally captured the bases. I killed 3 of the enemy ships. I was trying to do everything in my power, but I'm countered on all fronts. There's just only so much one person can do. There's not much I can do about that, unfortunately. Our Worcester was an idiot sitting broadside. Our Montana died badly. He should have been able to stay alive there. He was very healthy the last I looked at him. So the fact that he ended up dying was unfortunate. Because he should have neutered that Stalingrad. That Stalingrad was broadside for so fucking long and got away with it. But who knows? Maybe this guy can pull this back. Otherwise, I think this was a pretty solid showcase for the Hayate. I did everything that I could to try to give our team the best chance to win. But sometimes you're just not going to win. Like, we were perfectly countered on our flank. We still managed to make a huge impact on this match. Again, think of what we were up against on our side. Long-range radar. The Schlieffen, literally a destroyer's nightmare of a battleship. Then we had the Z-52, the perfect counter destroyer to another destroyer. Like, literally could not have scripted that match to be worse for us. And yet we still made a pretty large impact overall, and it looks like the Stalingrad might eat another torpedo here. Don't know how powerful the Vampire's torps are. It's pretty good. Not enough, but pretty good. We ate 2 of the radars from that guy, and in the end, that last radar was the one that got me. But we managed to get rid of their destroyer as well. Like, again, we did everything that we could in this match. You're just not always going to come out on top, unfortunately. But overall, I think I did pretty well. And I think I talked us through it most of the way. Again, this guy could easily win this. This BA Montana kills this Stalingrad right here, and then swings back around. He can easily dev strike a Venezia. Like, we just got to get rid of this Stalingrad. Stalingrad bow in. I mean, honestly, it wouldn't hurt my feelings if this Montana loaded HE on the Stalingrad, given how low health he is. But again, I don't know. And the Vampire here, I mean, he's in a rough spot. Stalingrad already used 2 radars. Does he have a third? I don't know. I would assume that he does, given the fact that most people run fully packed. So I would assume he has 3 radars. Or does he only get 1 to start? I don't know. It's so hard to remember everything about every ship, especially ships you don't play all the time. I love the Stalingrad. I just don't ever play it, just because the Alaska, in my opinion, is better. I'd much rather be in the Alaska. But looks like Stalingrad's going to go down to a torpedo here for sure, if the Montana doesn't just outright kill him. And again, if you're in the Montana here, does he slip it? He slipped it. Good dodge. Never mind. I'll just shut up now. Montana. I was going to say, if you're the Montana here and you see those torpedoes going in, just leave them. But again, that just showcases right there. But he waits until the Stalingrad just fired, gets the immediate fire. That's one of those situations where, like, you see how quickly that guy died. You're like, man, you could have done that sooner. You know, if that was your goal, could have done that a little sooner. Montana, how much health you can? He's lost all of his health somehow. Don't ask me. I guess Louisiana. It's Louisiana, Venezia. Venezia's SAP is absurd, and then the Louisiana is just stupid. There's not a whole lot about that we can do. And then you have the Delaware as well. So if the Delaware is close enough to send his planes, you got 2 squadrons of torpedo planes every minute and a half. So yeah, is what it is. Unfortunate, but is what it is. And you can see the damage that he just did there on essentially a bow in Venezia. So it boggles the mind sometimes when you look back and you're like, man, how did these people end up not doing, like, they were so healthy. Like that Montana that was on our side was so healthy the last we looked at it, and then he was just dead. It's like, how do you lose all your health that quick? And then this guy starts shooting his guns. Like, if you're gonna shoot your guns, go all in, man. You're in a destroyer. You should be agile enough that you can dodge a round or two to keep yourself alive. He was half health. So he had some health he could have played with there. Could have been a little bit more aggressive, I think, the destroyer there. But again, we did our part. Can't ask for much more than that. Almost 2K base game in the ship as a bottom tier destroyer. Not too shabby. Let me know if you guys are still enjoying the Wheel series. I know it shows a bunch of different stuff. Shocker that the people that we were directly against were the best players on their team, other than the Schlieffen. Schlieffen, sadness. But Worcester, equally sadness. And then, of course, the Montana was not far behind him. So that shows how healthy my side of the map was. It was just me. It was me versus literally the perfect counter, and we still made a huge impact on the overall game. But you're not going to win them all. Let me know if you like what I'm doing. Punch a like button. Leave a comment below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, I will see you in the next video.